everybody out there in the spirit world. Oh, here comes a puppy, which is perfect for me because this is what grounds me, as animals and nature, of course. We are out here in Roseville today, and we are investigating for just a really, really wonderful family, and their pets, and and everyone that visits them, because this apparently is a place where there is a lot of energy and a lot of activity. We go into these fairly cold. We get the basic amount of information on the claims. Just, hey, we're having this kind of trouble, or we're having some issues, or we're feeling kind of weird. Can you come check it out? Can you tell us what's going on in the space? And a matter of fact, yes, we can. We are here today. Thankfully, our clients were so gracious to feed us dinner. So thank you for the extremely tasty tri-tip. And that potato salad was quite fabulous, as a matter of fact.
And shout out to Roundhouse Deli.
And there you go. And so, it was just so appreciated and so tasty. Obviously, as everyone out there knows, all the people that follow us, the people who are fans also through Rad Radio of us and everywhere else, that we do work for food. So, people donate in a myriad of ways, and one of them is to fill our bellies. So we're basically gonna get out here and just kind of figure out what's going on in the home. I know, and I can feel that both of the clients in this home are sensitives to some degree. They either see, feel, hear, sense, pick up energy of both the living and the dead. So that kind of energy, that kind of activity, it can be a little disconcerting. It could be a little confusing, especially if you're sensitive, but you don't know anything about it. You don't know how to ground, you don't know how to center, you don't know how to protect yourself. You sort of feel lost at sea, overwhelmed. Maybe you get used to it. Maybe you're just like, hey, this is part of life. This is what it is. But it keeps happening and happening and happening. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? How do I manage this really, truly in my life? And that is sort of where our clients are. They want coping skills, management skills, and understanding, and most of all, validation for what they are experiencing in the home. Like, the typical question we get asked a lot is, am I crazy? No. No, you guys are not crazy. The energy in this space is real, and it's palpable. From the moment we walked into the house, it felt loud. Not the living people, but the other side almost bum rushed us and became very, very excited. Just because your house is full of spirits, it doesn't mean that they're negative. It doesn't mean that they're harmful. Especially when you have sensitives in the home, it could just be a lot of curious souls, curious spirits that are just, hey, oh my gosh, oh, can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you help me out? They're just in need of help, or they're desperate, or they're just, hey, their relatives coming to say howdy and they're visiting. It doesn't have to be toxic or negative or dangerous. Now, of course, you still want good, healthy boundaries no matter what type of energy you're dealing with, whether they are negative or they're positive or they are neutral. Healthy boundaries with both the living and the dead are integral, especially for somebody who happens to be sensitive. That is something we're going to empower our clients with this evening, along with doing a full investigation and a full blessing. The energy, besides being loud, upon coming in, it almost sounds, it's weird. To me, it's like a family. I keep hearing a woman, like, with a young child, maybe like trying to soothe a child, hum to a child, comfort a little one to some degree, and provide some kind of just a soothing energy. But there's at least two male spirits in this space. One of them is much older, a little grumpy, but the older one. But he honestly, he means well. He's just a little stubborn. There could be some sort of military background with him because he's just so regimented with things. But and I think the living would notice him in the sense of hearing like knocking or footsteps or movement with him. The other male may be connected to the female and the child, and he's just more like protective, that kind of thing. And I can't place the timelines on these souls yet. there's an older female that quite the busybody, that tries to reorganize their house the way she sees fit. She thinks that things are supposed to be kept in a certain way. She's the type of woman that would have like the good dishes and the good couch, that kind of thing. Like, you know, you don't sit there and we only use these dishes on this holiday, but big on holidays and big on cooking from scratch. Like, she has to have things done that way. She's like, what in the, like, why are people doing all this boxed stuff?
I think you're getting validation on that.
It's amazing with her energy. And those are just the initial ones that are like wanting to step forward. I think that there might be like a rotating 7-Eleven type of thing going on. Like, new spirits come in and old spirits come out, and like there's like this these ones are ones that I think are here a lot, but then there's other ones that just rotate in and out frequently, based on the fact that you got sensitive. So just like, oh, hey, let's go home from the grocery store with so and so, you know, that kind of thing. And then they kind of figure out nothing's happening here. A couple of these older souls are like, this is our space, and then those other souls just like walk away and leave. They might cause a disruption for 2 or 3 days, and then they out. You know, they're not hanging out. The tan colored dog has been identified as kind of the psychic dog, and we have animals like that. I have a psychic cat in the house, but that particular puppy would be the canine equivalent of a familiar. The animal that's assigned to like a witch or that type of energy, where that's your protector, that's your guardian, that's the one that knows things to keep you safe as the person who owns it. So I would, typically that's a cat thing, but I've seen it in dogs more than once. And those are kind of my initial impressions to start, but I'm really curious to walk the entire house because I feel like there's going to be a couple other really profound hot spots, and maybe as I go through the house I can feel the energy of the living as well, and possibly some of the things that they experience. I know sitting here, I am positive I'll see, you know, like I will see shadows down the hall. Like I like, you know, watching TV, but then you see somebody poke around, or you see like a glimmer of light, and you're like, you know, that look of what was that? What was that? And so I think there's a lot of draw to the back of the house. It just feels like that direction has a lot of energy. Both John and I noticed that when we came in, that we're just like, what's down there? I didn't even want to look down there because they were all like standing there like, hey. I'm like, shit. I want to eat first. Thankfully, they were respectful of my boundaries, and they did let me eat, and that was very nice. So thank you, dead people. We'll break out as much equipment as we need and as much equipment as our clients are comfortable, because clearly we can go all the way from just the basic meters all the way to SLS, all the way to spirit box, and anything in between. But the most important and favorite part of every investigation for me is the blessing, and also giving our clients the knowledge they need to move forward and live in a beautiful, happy, harmonious way, because they're never, ever going to be paranormal free. Not with the profound energy gift that they both have. But we need to turn that volume way the hell down and just teach them how to simmer it down if, you know, a visitor comes in that they're just not comfortable with. A couple of these souls, they're meant to be here. They're helpers. They're supposed to be part of the family kind of network here. We'll talk to them. We'll see what they have to say and try to get some harmony and get some balance.
Is there anything negative here?
I have not encountered anything negative yet.
Okay.
Sometimes those things hide from me, but so far it's just been all these really more anxious souls, anxious to talk, anxious to interact. I think that some negative things have made their way in, but may have been kicked out, possibly by the older gentleman or maybe the older female. I'm not sure which of one of them kicked. Those seem to be like guardian souls to the space. I think there's been a couple of incidences that have been very fear-inducing, but it's not like, it's nothing demonic. That's not what I'm feeling in this space at all. But we'll dig around, we'll poke around in the dark a little and see what we can find, and hopefully bring a little harmony to some little fur nuggets. Hello. And also the swimming kind with the turtle. Everybody needs to be happy, right? All the creatures. So hopefully we can get some harmony for this family. That is our goal tonight. So let's see what we can do. Huh. I like that. Sometimes I wander around and I just take pictures of random things. Like people who are filming me. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
This, is this a guest room?
Yes, it is.
Because it, like, I have this, like, vibration in here that's kind of, swirly, but, like, it's hard to even, like, quantify it. It feels, dizzying. Maybe like a sense of, like, vertigo, or maybe even some headache pain. Just something, I feel kind of woozy and painful-ish going on. Yeah. And there's a different short little old lady that's wandering in here. Very cute little gal, spicy little spunky fire and love at the same time. Like, she'll whip your ass, but she'll give you a hug. I mean, you know, I like her. I respect her. But she's just little itty bitty. Like, you don't think she's gonna give you a hard time because she's a cute little fart. But man, she could tell you where to stick it. I like her though. I like her. She's got a very pure and good heart. Good lady. All right. Oh, look at all that fun excitement. That explains the creative energy, now doesn't it?
A little bit.
I'm feeling almost asthmatic. Just very tight in the chest, asthmatic. Yeah, real hard to breathe sensation. And my back hurts, my elbows hurt, my neck hurts, my knees hurt. Just, it's like my whole body's just hurting for, it's not that there's like anything negative in here, just like I'm feeling some sort of domino effect of chronic pain. And otherwise it feels very productive. There's, you know, it feels overall uplifting. I mean, the general energy is good. It's a deep tenacity and drive to overcome. There's a huge tenacity. Now, there could definitely be shifting and movement of things in this space. This to me feels like a lot of almost apporting, you know, movement and relocation of objects in this in this space. Let's take it here. Let's put it there. Let's do this. Let's do that. A lot of that going on. I think one of the older ladies just, you know, finds that to be a good idea.
You're too fast for the camera.
Oh, hi. Well, okay.
Are you going to help me? Yeah? Okay.
All right. Well, are we gonna fight over me now?
Is that what's happening?
The animals always like to help. Ooh, the dreams are like vivid color. Like really, really loud. Almost, it's like I feel like I'm in the middle of a Picasso painting. Like where everything's so colorful and bright and expressive and disjointed and it's full of symbolism. It's like if Van Gogh and Picasso made a dream sequence. It's just so loud. I'm definitely going to want to check this with the tri-field because there's something going on right there. I wonder if things are like, you know, like wrapping, like a lot of spirit wrapping. A lot of stuff like that's going on.
Is that a closet?
And that's the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
She has my ring, or she has something. Somebody has some significant jewelry, or like a ring or a necklace or something. There's something. They keep bitching about some jewelry. Pissing and moaning about some. Where is that? Where is this? Where did it go? I don't know. Why would I know? Let me go over here. I'm gonna go sneak past you. And still with the headaches. Still with some pain. There's like a past life connection going on. There's this whole being connected in another lifetime thing that I keep hearing. And there's this guy that keeps patrolling around the whole property line. He keeps patrolling around. I keep seeing him wander around, and he keeps patrolling around. Sometimes he wanders through the house because he doesn't realize. He just keeps patrolling, or like doing this whole march or pacing around the land. So I think he may be pre-house, possibly connected to land something or previous structures. I don't know. But he just keeps, whatever he's wearing, it's either like, I don't know, I see some blue or some gray or something. But he just keeps going around and around. I can't really see him all that clearly, unfortunately. Some sort of cap on him. You're very calm and you're very soothing. Thank you. Maybe my puppy will calm down eventually too, you know? Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Ooh, the stomach. It's not my own stomach pain. This is like a higher pain, like a horrible digestive discomfort pain, like, and it kind of wells up in the throat. Yeah. I mean, you got to be seeing them walk all over the frickin' place. I mean, they're
Busy.
this is like a thoroughfare. They're just busy. They got places to go, things to do. They're just walking through this place all the time.
You ever feel like the hallway is way too crowded?
The older guy likes
You
these.
never ever feel alone. Right.
He enjoys. I almost feel like the older gentleman sits here and just like hangs out and watches TV with you. He's just like, this is cool. What are we watching tonight? Like,
Hanging out with the fam.
yeah, he's just being real polite about it, but he's just kicking back in one of these chairs. I wonder. He's like, why don't I get served a cocktail? It's almost like he tries to make his own cocktails. Because like I'm seeing the chair move, and then I'm seeing like, hey, let's make a drink. Let's do this. Let's have a good time. You know that kind of stuff. They're just like, he just wants to have a cocktail. It's like, what? Hey, like it's been a while. Interesting man. Yeah, no, you got some stuff going on in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's busy. It's like a train station a little bit.
Yeah.
I think if we get you guys learning how to ground a little more and kind of protect your aura a little more, I think we can get you to navigate it a little more comfortably. But man, there's no way to fully like totally nix it. There's no stopping all of it. Somebody's got precognitive, like just knowing stuff before it's gonna happen. That kind of stuff going on, like, and then you're like, And there it is. Okay, I was right. Okay, fine, you're right. You know, that kind of deal going on. There's definitely some massive precog. I think the living would sometimes also feel extremely exhausted for no reason. Just completely like a drained battery. Just out of the blue. Like, haven't been doing necessarily anything arduous. Hasn't been that busy of a day. And suddenly it's like, whoop. And that's usually when one of the transient ones, I think, passes through and kind of looks for a little help and doesn't get the help, and then it, you know, turns into a sort of a lack of energy equity. Again, where bubbling up and putting your aura bubble on type of thing, that would be helpful for that kind of instance. Yeah. Whew. There's a lot happening. Well, you're not crazy. Your house, your damn house is haunted, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. I live like that too. But let's teach you to manage it, and maybe let's see if some of these souls need a little help. I think the main bulk of them that are here belong somewhere, whether they're ancestral or they're connected, you know, somewhere, and they're not going to hurt you. Let them do their job. They're here to help. We just have to work on this transit energy that is getting a little over pushy. Because I think some energies are kind of pushing your boundaries. Some of them can get a little aggressive, maybe hold you down, maybe knock you down. Some can be a little bit impolite. And those are the ones that kind of pop in, and they might bother guests. They might bother, you know, you guys when you're trying to sleep, and then they come in and they push you and try to like wake you up. And that sort of thing needs to stop. And that's what if I haven't sent it to you already, I will make sure to do the aura protection, the grounding documents. You guys need that. So you can learn how to clear yourselves and bubble yourselves so things don't take advantage of your boundary lines. Because I do feel that there are some that pop in periodically that are just a little over the line. Those are the ones we need to deal with. And my blessing will kind of clear the slate, except for your positive ones always stay. They never go. But you guys are going to have a shitload of maintenance. You know, that's going to be, you know, your life. But it's my life, so welcome to the club. Yeah.
I'm happy to join.
Yeah, right? You know, it's part of the package. Mm-hmm. So I think that is what I feel so far. Maybe we take a couple minutes. I'm going to get a drink of water, and then we'll regroup for a quick kind of validation, just so you can let me know if anything I have rambled through this walkthrough makes sense to you guys.
Yep.
So we'll break for a second and get right back in it. Never dealt with this gift?
No.
She still hasn't dealt with it.
No.
She goes, I hear it, she gets stressed out, and she gets anxiety, she gets depressed. and then
Super bad anxiety.
Anxiety disorders are common in the sensitive.
She has
So.
some disabilities, like at birth, she has some
Okay.
dwarfism and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
that
she
but she's always
she
been
goes,
very
I
special.
can see them, I can hear them,
Yeah?
they're all over, I don't know what to do. I said, well, what makes you feel better? I said, put your headphones on, listen to some music. She gets to writing, she goes, it's just constant.
The thing is that the other side won't ever leave her alone, and the more she tries to run from it, the more it's going to slam her in the face.
Yeah.
So instead, learning coping skills, boundaries, bubbling up, cleaning your aura, smudging yourself, all these kind of things can be really helpful base level techniques. And then of course, you know, I'm always willing to send out other information or referrals. I know some healers in the community. That's kind of where you start.
Virginia.
Virginia.
Okay.
She's
You
in
know,
Virginia.
I wonder who I know out there. Well, I mean, the aura protection and grounding, that's a
Yeah, I'll
document
send
we
that
can
to
we can
her.
send. Yeah, that's easy to just start with. And then I can put some feelers and see who I know close to that area that might be into this. Because I do have some East
Because she
Coast.
goes, I would
people.
either, she goes, it's never gonna stop, I know
No,
that.
it's not. Yeah,
She goes,
no.
I know that, but how can I cope with it? How can I live with it?
Learning how to
It's
protect your
miserable.
aura.
Sometimes she doesn't
huge.
even come out of the
She
house for
doesn't.
days.
Oh,
That's terrible.
Go ahead and roll right into that elevation.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, I did a walk through your space, wandered, felt things, said some stuff in the intro, looked at all the energy where I could feel it, some of your guys' energy, some of the deceased energy. What made sense to you guys?
Where do we start?
We start at this bedroom and work our way around.
Well, let's start at the hall first of all.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed as soon as you came in, you were just like, didn't want to focus down there.
Yeah.
And I've been told since I've been in the house.
What was that?
It pulled me right to the hallway when I
Mhm.
walked in.
Yeah.
I've just been told from different people that was just kind of I want to say a portal, but almost just some kind of an entrance.
Sort of thoroughfare.
Right.
Yeah.
And mainly like where like the light is in the hallway, but also like the spare bedroom and the office. Those are like the
That corner.
but yeah, the hallway and then those two rooms are definitely like main sticking points. So when you as soon as you came in, like that obviously is like already
Yeah.
something.
Something's going on, yeah.
And it's not always good.
Yeah, no.
It's not always good in the hall.
Yeah,
Like
sometimes it can
when
be a
we
little
first
much.
started dating, we were hugging. We were standing by the closet door, and we got shoved into
Okay.
the wall and hit the wall.
So that sensation I felt of being pushed, then
Yeah.
obviously that makes sense to you.
So that one, and then you touched on, because I was sitting here, like I said, he had another couch, whole different setup. I was sitting down here. He was making something in the kitchen, I think, making us drinks or something, and a man peeked out from around the corner and looked out, and
Oh, Jesus.
I went, oh, and I'm all, who's here?
You're
and
like,
I
oh.
asked him who was here, and he's
Oh,
like,
no.
there's nobody
She thought
here.
there was somebody in the house.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it
So
was.
I looked all over the house.
It was a man, and
Yeah.
and then he showed me a picture of his grandfather. It was his grandfather.
Oh wow.
So I saw him. He literally peeked out
Oh,
from
that's
around
cool.
the corner.
Okay.
So
So
that's
when
the
I'm
only
seeing-
actual person.
So what
I
the
see.
man I'm seeing could very well be him then. Because I was seeing obviously somebody walking around down the hallway. So
Do you,
that-
when you see them, do you see their facial features?
sometimes,
or-
sometimes
okay.
I just see them a shadow and silhouette and kind of like almost their aura. The aura is more blinding,
Yeah.
and sometimes some of the features will filter in depending on what they're willing to give me, what they're willing to show me. It is up to them ultimately what they'll give me.
Okay.
When you
But-
mentioned military,
Yes.
my grandfather was. I have pictures, but he was in like France, Germany. He was stationed over there.
Oh.
My uncle Tiny was actually a fighter pilot in World War II, but
Oh. Wow.
so, and that's just like my side. I know her dad,
My daddy passed in '97, and he was in Vietnam.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
and also my
So,
father.
so
he was-
feeling that strong military energy.
And my son just enlisted.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
and my sister, she was in the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah, very
so-
strong military.
So no
ties,
wonder
yeah.
that just that feeling wafted over me. Then that makes a lot of sense.
My family's military
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
The tiny feisty woman in the bedroom.
Yes.
That's little grandma.
Great grandma.
That's
Oh.
what we call. Like
Okay.
my mom's mom, we just call her, little grandma, because she is
Oh, how cute.
four something. I mean,
So
Four
very
foot.
small.
So
4
tiny.
foot nothing, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when she wants to be heard,
Small but mighty.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. she's
The
great.
woman now is the woman. Do you think the woman that like thinks that things should be moved around and rearranged and stuff? Do you feel like that's the same person as the little woman?
I'm not 100%. I think they're two different people.
Okay, because I would think that's my mother.
Oh. Okay.
Because this is all her. Like that's hers. The hutch. The hutch is hers. That's an
Okay.
antique. Like that's like 400 years
Did
old.
you ever pick anything up from just?
So
over
when I
that
touch
area?
objects, yeah, I absolutely can do psychometry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Maybe I
that
should
would be
put
my
those
mom.
things.
My mom asked her.
Right.
Like
I
the minute
cried.
you started saying it, we both started crying because we knew
Oh.
it was my mother.
Oh wow. Okay.
But she grew up with my mom too.
Well, that's nice that she's visiting in here and helping
Yeah.
out, and
That's
how
incredible.
nice.
I find that comforting because in
Yeah.
all honesty, I haven't felt her,
Oh.
and I don't know why.
Well, that happens a lot
Grief.
with grief. Yeah, for sure. It could be 20 years, it could be 30 years, it could be 40 years. Just that sensation. Sometimes your brain just blocks you,
Yeah.
and often sensitives have a hard time sensing their own on occasion for a variety of reasons. It took me about 8 years to even feel my own grandmother, and but we were very, very close.
Yeah.
So my brain just put that blockade there. And I still occasionally struggle with it.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I'll hear something from her, I'll feel something from her. I'm like, oh yeah, she's still there.
See, I hear and feel so much, and I just
Yes, you
want,
do.
I want to feel my mom and dad. I want to.
Yeah.
But it's like
sometimes wanting it so much,
You know,
again,
you want
causes a blockade. I would just let yourself be open to the fact that they're here helping.
Yeah.
Just let them do their job.
Yeah.
And if and when it's the right time, the signs they give you can be subtle. It's not always like they're all up in your face and you're like, hey, the same like the guy looking around the whatever. It may not be like that with your parents. It may be suddenly the clock is a death date or an anniversary date or a birth date, or suddenly like a song will pop on the radio, or they'll give you these other signs, or all of a sudden a butterfly will smack you in the face, whatever. You get these other little things and you don't realize, but that's them. They're trying to manipulate other things around you to get your attention.
Just to let you know.
Signs and symbols.
You said the clock.
Yeah, that's very typical that they'll use
Since
that.
the day I stepped foot in this house, he has had weird, like his alarm clock all of a sudden out of nowhere will start blinking at random numbers. There's no 9 in the first position on that clock. It's like a 0, then it could go up to 9 or whatever. And it's like he's always got like random. It'll say like 4227, or
Yes.
Well, it's
so
only three digits,
or
but
or something, just
Just
And
random.
is
the
there
time will be like 876.
is there anything that you could make connections, like favorite numbers or something, or
Well, I mean,
or
I look
birth
up
name?
he
what
looks up
what the
like
numbers
angel
mean.
numbers. To
Angel
see
numbers
if
are good.
it-
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes, I mean, it has basically been spot on when I look up what that number means.
Yeah.
And
That is one way they will use to communicate that reminder. I'm here.
Okay.
Listen to me. Pay attention. It's not like they're picking up the phone. They can't kind of telegraph to you this sort of messages that you would expect.
Yeah.
But they're going to communicate to you in the ways that they can. So you kind of have to be open to these alternative methods of interaction.
Well, here's a big one.
Okay. Let me
So
buckle
you-
in.
Yeah, no, really, this is a big one. So we were painting the house. We had removed all the furniture from those 2 rooms in the back that on the right, so the
Okay.
guest room and the jewelry room. We'd removed everything from those rooms and we were painting. And he has a black rocking chair that belonged to his little grandma. And it was out and it was in that room in the beginning, and I said, we need to move this because we were using a roller and I
well, that
didn't
rocking
want
chair, it was in the office.
yeah, I didn't want
Buried.
any spatter getting
Okay.
on it, like paint spatter, so we put it in the
The closet.
office, in the closet, and shut the door.
And it was
Okay.
buried with all kinds of stuff on it.
Yep.
Oh.
And then there was a little white wooden chair for like an old farmhouse table that was in this room, and we were using it to stand on for painting and stuff like that. So those rooms, they were like that. And then we went out to the garage to get more paint, put more paint in our things. Came back inside, and that rocking chair was in this room.
Oh my God.
The chair that was in that room was now in the closet. And his little baseball figurine that his grandparents bought him was sitting on the rocking chair.
So when you mentioned
That's
relocation,
right there.
So
When
the,
you
the
said
importing,
that-
okay.
yep.
Well,
As soon
and
as
here's
you
the
said
thing.
that, we went, yes! I was like so glad you guys picked up on that,
But
because
the-
nobody believed us.
The fact that that's a dead-on sign. Obviously, that's, I want this, I want that, here I am. They can't get any louder.
well, I used to sit in that chair all the time when I would go stay with my grandparents, and that was something after they passed. I told my mom, out of all the things that I could have, I said it was pretty much, there was like this little train set that I wanted, but also it was the rocking chair,
Yeah.
and that was what I wanted, and that was like something very special to me. So that has great meaning to not just myself, but I even think my grandparents. So, but to have something, to have that kind of energy to move 2 chairs, and especially
That's
the one chair that had so
huge.
much stuff on top of it, that took a lot of
That's
work, a lot of
impressive.
effort. So
that is spiritual talent
That is.
to the
Be able
max.
to move things like that, that's crazy.
and oh no, it was also, remember the blanket or whatever it was that there
Oh,
was,
my
the angel.
Michelangelo angel's blanket was on it, was laying on it, and that was mine.
So that's kind of a, hey, your angels are here sort of thing, literally.
It's okay that you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me that does seem kind of like an acknowledgement and almost a blessing.
I felt like, in a way, because I've heard talk about cords. And I felt like, in a way, that it was possible there were some cords going on in the house with either me or with him or with both of us, because there's strain, and we can feel it. And you were talking about, the complete exhaustion.
Yeah.
He'll sometimes come in and just absolutely just melt into the floor and become one with it.
Oh man.
Just on the carpet, and he's done. He's done. He doesn't
Okay.
move. He just stays there.
That's
That's
a sort of a symptom of an ungrounded empath for sure.
Yeah, so that's what he does a lot, and it's just we don't have relationship problems. It's just weird. It's like there's like a lull going on. It's like a dull drum.
That
kinda
happens
thing.
when if your spiritual boundaries are kind of low and you're just getting hit all the time spiritually and energetically. Yeah, you don't have a lot left to give.
Yeah.
So we gotta put the balance
Find
back
a
in
way
your
to
guys'
fix that.
favor.
Yeah. Please, yeah.
You gotta. You're gonna have some homework.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about was we have a lot of animal spirits here. We see them.
That makes sense.
Shadow. We have videos, so we'll show you those.
Yeah, I would
videos
like to see
eventually.
those. Yeah.
But and then the other thing, when you were in my office,
Mm-hmm.
you were talking about feeling asthmatic
Mhm.
and a lot of pain in the chest and a lot of you said something about the elbow, and then you said, and the legs, and then it's just pain. Could it be possible, because she just lost her significant other in February. He passed from COVID. Well, he had a previous heart condition and got COVID.
Okay.
So he passed, but that's
The
how
night-
it was lumped.
the,
It was,
the night before he passed, he was complaining that he felt like he got hit by a truck.
Oh yeah, I mean it.
He goes, my
Even though I
body
couldn't identify
hurts.
the exact spirit, yeah.
I'm hurting really, really bad. It's like from head to toe. I'm in
Okay.
pain, and he has a hard time breathing in COVID.
So he might have
So
been
he got
following
sick,
me around.
and then the
yeah.
next morning, I found him dead.
Oh Jesus, I'm so sorry.
That's horrible.
Well, then it would make sense why he would show up.
And by the jewelry,
'Cause you're here.
I'm laughing because right before he died,
he was
he
like,
did
no
the-
more.
Again, Joy, every time he heard Deb's voice, oh God, her
Oh,
again,
God.
Joy. And I'm going, why would he be in the
Now I
jewelry
sell
room?
it. Sorry, Dimitri.
He's in there because he knows paparazzi jewelry because I spent like $3,000 before she started selling it.
Oh, wow, that's
So he's like, no more.
No more, so.
well, I
I'm
mean,
wondering-
no, that would make a profound amount of sense because you're here, and so you could be bringing him with you. So, for sure.
That's good. That's good to feel and good to know, right? Like,
And
He's
he would
okay.
show me what he experienced, so you would know to validate that it was him. Even because they don't always show me who they are, how they're related. They rarely tell me their names. They just give me feelings because I'm an empathic medium. So everything I feel from the other side is emotion based or feeling based, and I just got that sensation over my whole body.
Yeah.
So that does make a lot of sense. I am profoundly sorry for your loss. But, death really clearly is not the end. I mean, just because we lose this stupid meat suit,
right.
the rest of us goes on.
It's the way I always describe it is, it's just like if your car breaks down, what are you going to do? Just sit in it for the rest of eternity and just sit
Yeah.
there? It's like you're going to get out of it and either find another one or walk.
Yeah. You figure it out.
Right, right.
So,
I know when you mentioned like shadows and stuff,
uh-huh.
I think when I heard like watching TV or something or just in the kitchen, the main thing is like we all see like the hallway, and to me the one thing I always catch myself is that mirror or just that area,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if that just to me there always seems like
I feel like there's constant shadow movement. I mean,
because sometimes
but
I'm
you're
like,
sensitive, so of course you're gonna see it the way I see it.
Right.
So,
because I know it's not like a reflection from a car driving by or
You
like
tell
the
the
sunlight.
difference, yeah.
It's not because it's like sometimes like I know what I saw, but then
it's
it's like,
irregular movement.
but that's what like catches like even though I'm not looking at it, I still see it. But it's like there's so many things that, like you said, now I'm starting to. It makes sense that when I see as much as what I do, and I know it's like what I see is like it's not a car, it's not anything else. It's there's something there. But as much as I see, it's like, kind of, it's odd. It's like, when you said it, it's like, there's always something coming and going. Like, it's just,
He's the one who feels everything. Like he'll go.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking initially some sort of
Immediately.
like physical mediumship, because literally experiencing it in your body like that, it can be very hard and it can be very draining. You can have this problem at work. You can have this problem at the grocery store.
I've had experiences at
you know.
work.
There,
Yeah.
he has a shadow person at work that he's
Well-
caught. He's got a video of him.
You
Yeah.
can't get away from it.
Yeah,
This is why you guys need the tools. Like now,
yeah,
you need these tools yesterday.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because it's not going to get any better.
And it's randos will come in here, like people who were just visiting. Like my son's girlfriend was sitting in that chair and we were talking and she kept going, looking down the hall. She's like, somebody is walking around at the end of your hall. And I was like, yeah. I'm surprised you just now saw him because she lived here for what, 4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
With my son in that room, she was here with him. So
Never saw
she
it.
never saw it until she was sitting out here talking to me because they never came out of that room. They were always in that room. She always would say, I get this stuffy just feeling in here. I have to get out. And I'm like,
Well, and it would make sense that, children of sensitives are often sensitive.
well, that would be my son. Now, my son Aaron, the one who is now in the service.
Go get him.
He's actually in Fort Benning, Georgia right now.
Okay.
He's on base. But he has been seeing and experiencing these since he was a baby. 2 years old, he interacted with my dad. My dad, all he ever wanted was a grandson. We kept popping out girls. We kept popping out girls. And all of a sudden, I have the first boy right after my dad dies, right? So, of course, I named my son after my dad.
Yeah.
And by 2 years old, he's walking around and he looks up at my dad's. I have a wooden cross that's hanging up there. It's got a scroll on the back with all
Oh.
the family's names in it. And that's like the most important thing to him. So I kept it. My son didn't know this. He was 2. So it's up on the wall and my son's like down on the floor going like this, up at the cross going, Papa.
Oh, yeah.
Papa.
my
And he's
God.
calling out to my dad.
So sweet.
He'd never even met him and didn't even know that
Well,
word.
he did before he arrived.
Right. And that's what I sensed was that he already had known him.
It's almost like your dad was sick of waiting for somebody to have a boy. It's like,
So he sent him.
Well, fine, yeah, I'm gonna send them one.
We're gonna pull somebody.
See, that
from
explains
here.
why he's so hard-headed. Because he handpicked him for me, I guarantee you.
He had to pull some strings.
He did, yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. And my son not so much anymore, but he could always see everything when he was little. He had what he called a dark man that would follow him to school. My son's school sent him on a 5150 to Children's Hospital.
Oh, for Pete's
because
sake.
this thing attacked my son in the classroom and held him down. And so my son freaked out and, I was
Well,
like,
yeah.
no. I took my son to Children's Hospital instead of them ambulating him, and the doctor talked to him. They interviewed him, talked to him, everything. They said, this child is not dissociated at all.
Yeah.
They said he knows what he saw.
Yeah.
He's very clear about what he experienced, and this is not something that he's
Yeah.
making up. So I don't know what you believe. And I was like, no, I already got it.
Kids
I was like,
go
that's
through
all I
so
needed
much
to hear
stuff.
because
Yep.
I know my son is a sensitive. Yeah.
Orbs and just random places, would that be, pretty much,
That's consistent with being a sensitive as well.
because
Yeah.
there's plenty of times where
It's all the
I
time.
might see something or and she'll maybe see it and she's like, hey, like, did you see? I'm like,
I'll see little flashes of light, balls of light, shadows, almost curtains of sparkly energy that go by, all kinds of weird crap.
Yeah, I was videotaping it and I went to the back door and I seen her face.
Oh, exciting.
Not a good one.
Oh,
Wait.
not exciting.
So that could be the person walking around the outside that
Could
you're
be,
talking
or it could
about.
just been a random, transient soul. that
wanting
was-
to know why
Wanted
you're
to be
here.
nosy why
Yeah.
you guys are here.
Yeah,
But I seen it. It was down here.
yeah. I would say that that's
And it
probably.
was not good.
I would say that's probably a curious soul that my blessing will rectify.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
to not let it in.
Good.
From all of it.
Get them where they need to go.
Because I need
Yeah.
that's one thing that I'm always very, very cautious about when we investigate. Depending on what tools we use, I like to be extremely careful that I don't make it,
Worse.
too high and worse. Obviously, my blessing tamps everything back down.
Yeah.
But I gauge how far I push in the interaction based on what you guys can handle, what
Yeah.
you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
What their energies get.
Yeah, they know and we all know. Just go get them.
Go get 'em.
I was like, oh. Did you catch it on your camera?
I think so.
She thinks she caught it on her camera.
Good, I'd like to see that.
Because I looked and I went,
It makes me a little more hesitant with things like the spirit
Not a
box and
nice
stuff. I
place.
don't want anything to think like it's okay to come in. I'm gonna have to tightly control a session if we do one.
Okay.
I know people love the spirit box and it's a crowd pleaser, but when there's stuff that's trying to hunt, like a shark, I like to gauge. I like to gauge that out a little bit, and we can definitely do some structure light sensor camera stuff. And we can talk about the spirit box. We can decide if we want to.
SLS is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I do love the SLS. So we'll kind of figure out how far we want to go with some of this stuff, because ultimately my goal is to empower and help you guys take control.
Yeah.
But I don't want anything that's hanging around on the edges, thinking that that's not who I'm interacting with. I'm interacting with the stuff in here. It's like family and protectors, and you've got a lot of that here, which is good.
Yeah.
That will keep a lot of negative stuff out.
I think we both have families of sensitives,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of them, when they passed, kind of stuck around to help us.
Yes, I would.
Well, no, I've been told by
I would concur with that.
Yeah.
my grandfather. I've been told by multiple people he's my guardian angel,
Yeah.
That
You
makes
know,
sense.
and that's something that like to
I
me that
feel
gives me
better
comfort.
now. I can sleep with the light off.
Yeah.
She's been sleeping with the light on in there. She has
last
not
two
been
times.
turning it
Well,
off.
all it is grandma, so we're
baby.
good.
Bailey's been in
It's
there
just
with
grandma.
me. But before, when I first started feeling uncomfortable, because she growled at the door.
Well, she felt something looming
And I
over
lit
her.
No, but that was in here when I slept on the couch when her son was still living here. I was laying on the couch and I could constantly feel like something's back here. Like while I'm laying, my head's over here, and I'm constantly feeling, and then all of a sudden I felt like somebody was just staring over the back right here. I'm like, okay, whatever,
That's
just
not
don't
polite.
just don't touch me. I'm going to go to sleep now. You could do whatever you want, just be your mess. Just leave me alone.
Yeah,
Let me
and
sleep.
and that is
And then I was
that
out.
is part of it. That's very similar to some of the stuff I want you guys doing is setting those clear boundaries.
We do.
You don't interrupt my sleep.
Yeah.
You don't interrupt my eating.
Yeah.
You set your boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the living. Draw your line in the sand.
Well, like the one time that she was getting ready in the bathroom, and she kind of got like pushed, like gently,
In
and
this
then she
stuff.
kind of like it kind of freaked her out, and then so we kind of started talking, and then we were kind of hugging, and then all of a sudden, then there was that real forceful. Well, after that, I said, just go in the bathroom, and I said I need to have a few words with,
Yeah.
and I did. I clearly
You walked
set
in the
boundaries
house. Yeah.
from that point because it was something
You
I
have
wasn't
to.
happy with.
Yeah.
And whatever it was, like they need to know that's not okay,
Uh-huh.
and they're not welcome in any way, shape, or form. Because it was like you said, that was not.
That's
okay.
crossing the line. Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of the things that I felt as I walked through made sense to you
Oh,
guys.
absolutely.
I think this
was-
guy chilling back here is my dad, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I just feel like it would be my dad because that's what he would do. He would just sit, chill, watch TV.
Yeah.
He likes the same sports as him.
Okay.
But
And
that's why I was wearing the
were
sweatshirt, but also that's why I wanted to sit in this chair because
Okay.
it was either going
To
to
bring
be
up
like
that
her dad
energy.
or my grandfather.
Well, I think that they're probably both here.
I think so.
I believe so.
I think that you have them. You literally have a house full of familial dead.
yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yeah. Because I was in the kitchen one day and we have this on video. And there was nothing on the counter. So it was, which never happened. So there was like nothing on the counter, but I had a sweatshirt on the counter that I was stain treating. And we have all of our glasses here, and I had my other martini glass. My martini glasses were over the top of the sweatshirt that I'm cleaning, and we have cameras. So we have that camera there.
Okay.
And we have that camera back there on my mom's hutch that gets everything down the hall, right?
Okay.
That's where we catch a lot of stuff. Yeah. So, but this camera caught while, I'm standing there cleaning and everything. All of a sudden, my martini
It
glass
went
tilted to the
It
side,
went like this. It went.
tilted to the side, and came down onto right onto the sweatshirt that I
Oh,
was
wow.
cleaning. No,
That's
just
good.
perfectly down.
Crazy. Looks like,
And
That's
it's,
crazy.
it's on
Somebody
video.
put it there,
It
yeah.
tilted first.
that's cool.
So you can see.
Yeah,
it wasn't-
that's not normal.
It tilted and then went.
Somebody's getting your attention.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and this, I have to ask you about this.
Oh, sure.
So, okay, we just came back from a cruise in May. And right before we left, my son was sitting where you're at, my 16-year-old. He was sitting there. I was sitting here. He had just gone to bed. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because we're both on our phones, not watching TV, we're on our phones. All of a sudden we hear crash, this loud glass breaking sound and glass sliding across our tile in the kitchen. And we both went like this, and he looks at me and he goes, what was that? And I jumped up and I went to run in there, and he goes, Mom, you have no shoes on. He was panicking because it was literally broken glass, right?
Yeah.
We got in there, it was nothing.
What
There
the
was
hell?
nothing in there. Nothing at all, right? So we go on our cruise. My oldest son, who's in the service, his girlfriend stayed here to watch the dogs while we were gone. And when we came home, we were coming in through this door, and the dog, Bailey, she backed into my coffee bar, knocked everything over, like everything came crashing to the ground. It was the exact same sound. It was like a premonition kind of thing, but it was the exact same sound, exact same everything.
Wow.
And me and DJ just stopped and looked at each other and went, how in the hell is that
Twilight
possible?
Zone music comes
I
on.
I
is
would
that
have to
possible?
say that was the other side giving you like a precognition or a forecasting of what was going to happen. They can do that. I mean,
That
they,
is so
Well,
they
we
can,
didn't-
weird.
they can
we
show
didn't-
you things that could possibly happen.
Well, but later the same night, it was later, after everything had got cleaned up, there were still a few things in the kitchen though, later, because I was washing clothes and stuff, because I'm thinking like, I gotta go to work, like, this was Saturday, I gotta go to work Monday. So I'm cleaning some stuff up in the kitchen, and there was actually a vase, just a glass vase, and not really paying attention, it was kind of covered with something, so when I went to go move to put something away, I knocked the vase over, broke some more glass.
Oh, jeez.
That's when DJ and I, we started like, holy shit. That's two
Because we don't
things all of a
break, we
sudden.
don't break things.
They
Uh-huh.
just heard like this thing, you know, like glass breaking recently, and all of a sudden, then the day that we come home, within a couple hours, two things, well,
Just crash.
stuff on the coffee bar.
They
and
were
then the
probably
vase.
trying to tell you guys to be cautious and take it easy and whatever. And well, oops.
Yeah.
you
That, it was interesting. It was
didn't quite
definitely
get the
interesting.
memo.
But that was my question was, could that be part of the precog thing? Because I think
Yeah.
when you said somebody here kind of has precognitions,
Yeah.
that's me.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I'm like, babe, this is going to happen. We were on the freeway one day. I was like, stay away from that car. He's going to cause an accident. And literally minutes,
enough.
Sure
like
as shit,
within
there was-
seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sensors.
That
Yeah,
was,
I do.
Yeah,
And I know that.
I would
Real
say that
handy.
that's definitely a real gift.
Yeah.
It's important, and yeah, I mean, it could have been the other side kind of showing you something and with working within your precognitive ability, and it happened. Stuff
Yeah.
fell over and
Final
broke. So
destination.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
I've done that since I was a baby. My mom used to be fascinated. We'd be in the car driving long trips, and I would sing, all of a sudden start singing a commercial, and then it would come on. Then I would start singing another commercial, and it would come on, and my mom was like,
What the hell's wrong with you,
You're
kid?
just way ahead of everything.
Yeah, that's very normal.
yeah, okay.
I mean, to me anyway. I mean,
right.
most people's like, what the hell is that? No,
How did you know
it's great.
It happens, yeah.
That's perfectly okay.
I'm not shocked by it anymore because of how much I do it, but all this other stuff is freaking me out right now.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
It's a lot, but you guys do need to learn management skills
Yeah.
because it
Make things
ain't
simple.
stopping.
Right.
I mean, it's just part of life now. So let's teach you to deal with it. But I think we should break out some meters. I think we should poke around, see if we can find any hot spots, any good reasons why things might be spiking in certain areas. Definitely check down that hallway. I might run the laser grid down the hallway. That might be kind of fun to try that out. So yeah, we'll try some things.
Are we going dark?
We don't. Well, honestly, I don't even care about
Either or. We
Neither do the ghosts, but
Yeah,
if
the
you
ghosts-
want to, we can.
They don't care.
The ghosts
I
don't
know.
give a shit about the dark or the light. They're just here.
Out here 24/7.
So yeah, we'll just kind of wander around and figure some stuff out and narrow it down,
Place
and
that's
then
really haunted is day or
decide
night.
what's
That's
gonna
nice.
happen. But
Okay.
but I'm glad it made sense to you guys. So
Oh, totally.
so good.
We're very excited. Yeah, this is
All right,
awesome.
meter time.